Good morning, afternoon, evening, as the case may be in your part of the world. Welcome to another edition of Ask Zen Archer. I just recently got a message from Tara 916, and I thought her questions were. There may be a lot of you that are wondering the same thing. Certainly, if you watch my videos for very long, you immediately will notice that the Zen thing, if you will, is not something that I practice with any kind of regimen. At least it wouldn't seem it here, because you see me act goofy and talk about a lot of things. It all has a message, and all of that is part of, all of that is part of the balance that I talk about when doing the whole Zen Archer thing. When I'm doing the whole Zen thing. But the question that she asked was, she says, yesterday I was looking up chi, positive and negative. And that led to feng shui, of course. Well, of course. And how in the hell do you do all of that they suggest? Well, it's a balance thing, and it's a Zen thing, and it's you can't go into, you can't do anything to excess, and it be a positive force in your life. Ice cream's really good, but too much of it'll make you sick. And that's pretty much it. First of all, you want to get in your head that what you want to do, even if you only do it a small part, is when you're doing things, you want to have in your head, you want to think about, is this going to make a positive influence? Is this a positive thing? If you know it's a negative thing, and if you have it in your head and you're trying to remember to do that, and you know it's a negative thing, then you won't do it. Hopefully you won't do it. And so because you didn't do it, the world will be a better place. And there are a lot of different cultures, there are a lot of different religions that all basically teach the same thing as it comes to spirituality and peace, inner peace. And with any of them, you can go too far. Well, Zen isn't any different than that. You have to recognize obstacles and go around them. You have to gently change your path. You can't do it overnight. And if you want to make your house more feng shui, you can go in there and you can read all the books, and you can rent the videos and buy all the feng shui stuff that they're going to sell you in a commercialized version of feng shui, and you have to have this rock and this water element. Or you can use your common sense and watch what it says, or watch feng shui on television, or look at it on the net, and take what you can from it. If it says you need a water element, which is absolutely a good thing. I personally have both Zen gardens, and I have a Zen garden, and I also have a fountain, that I get the water trickling. And some friends have told me that they can't have one of those because it makes them have to go to the bathroom. That anytime they're sitting near the water running, it makes them have to go to the bathroom. But that's okay. If that's not your thing, water is always a good element when it comes to peacefulness. But if that's not your thing, then don't do water in that way. Get yourself a CD. Any one of the science museums sell them, or you can probably pick them up in most any store, or download it from the web. There's available here too. You have rainforest sounds and thunders and stuff like that. Use that as your source. Turn it on very quietly. When you walk into a room and that's playing, it shouldn't be like you're walking into Disney World and you just got on the thunder ride. What it should be is something that is just kind of in the background, kind of soothing. Dim the lights a little bit, and do your meditation, and just sit quietly and listen to the music, and listen to the sounds around you, and be aware of everything, but also try to be introspective. So that'll help. You can't do everything. You can't do yoga and feng shui, but you can do parts of all of it. And collectively, that's a pretty big thing. So the answer is, don't try to do all of it. Take what you need and leave the rest. And never take more than you need. If the world were that way, if people only took what they needed, no one in the world would have a need. Because there would be plenty to go around. There would be plenty of air to breathe. There would be plenty of food to eat. You know, everybody would get their fair share. Some people can't work as hard to get stuff. Some people just don't have the ability to do that. And that doesn't mean that they should do without. That's another comment for another day. But Tara 916, thank you for your question, because I think it's an important one. And if anybody else has questions and they would like follow up to this or know a little bit more about it, I'd be happy to provide you with websites. There's a Chicago Zen Center has got an excellent, I'll put a link for that. It has got an excellent website about Zen and about you know, what is Zen, and there's dharmas there, and they even invite you to stop in and experience you know, experience the meditation. And absolutely, if you have a chance to do that, do that. It's kind of like when I grew up Southern Baptist was how I grew up, and not hardcore Baptist, and we didn't dance with snakes, and some do, but I grew up Southern Baptist, and it was a real fellowship kind of thing. When you come to church, it was like, hey, how you doing? And then I went to later on in my life, I started going to Catholic church, and the thing that was the most profound for me there was that when you walked into the Catholic church, you felt like you were in the house of God. It was quieting, and you'll find that with many of the you know, Buddhist, Hindu religions, is that many of them, when you walk into that atmosphere, the atmosphere is designed to make you feel at peace and at home. And you should have some place in your home that is a nice, quiet place to go and just relax and get in tune and change your direction, adjust your direction if you need to. But you need a place that's nice and quiet, and some place where you're not going to be disturbed by outside sources. You actually want to tune those sources out. You can do meditation anywhere. If you're in the car waiting for, you know, at the bank, you can take a couple seconds to just to relax and just meditate until the car in front of you moves. You can do little pieces. Ideally, especially when you're starting out, ideally you'll do like a half an hour, and you'll eventually extend that. And the longer you're quiet, or and the longer you meditate, the deeper you will get into the meditation, and the more good will come of it. But absolutely don't try to do it all. Just, it can't be done. You can't do it all. So take what you can, use what you can. Don't go and buy a rock when you've got one in your backyard. You know, you don't have to dress Oriental or Asian or like a Buddhist monk in order to meditate. It's not necessary. It's okay if you do. If that gets you in the right frame of mind, if that makes you feel the part and so puts you closer in touch with yourself, that's okay. But it's not necessary. And I think maybe that's what turns a lot of people off from that kind of thing, is because they think, well, if I'm going to get into Zen, then I have to be a monk. Then I have to devote my life to this, and that has to be all I do, and I can't eat meat anymore. And that's not true. I'm with trying not to pat myself on the back. I'm very, very much in tune with the whole balance and Zen thing. But anybody that knows me will tell you that I'm a far cry from a monk. Anyway, Terra916, thank you very much for your question. I do appreciate it. If anybody else has questions about Zen, about anything at all, about if you're having a problem in college, or with your relationship with your spouse, or just your relationship with your friends, or whatever it might be, if you'd like a different, if you would like a different viewpoint from someone who is not attached. And so, you know, when you're not involved, you don't have the emotions that are involved in that, and sometimes you'll get a clearer picture from somebody who is from an outside source. Feel free to ask me. Feel free to send me a message on YouTube. I'll be more than happy to give you my opinion, or I may have to ask you questions to find out more, to better define what it is. But I'll be more than happy to do that for you. So until next time, be well.